Okay, this is hi guys again. In this tutorial, actually, I'm going to show you how you handle error records, right? Gracefully. For example, let's say you are processing some set of data records, and in the middle, some records fail because of some reason. But you want to, like, for example, let's say the successful records, maybe you can process. It can be like you are entering data into database or any kind of processing. Some portion of the data records can be failed during the process, during the flow. So in this tutorial, I'm going to explain you how you can handle these data gracefully, especially error records, and how you like separate out these data records, success records and error records separately. And sometime you will be able to generate a error, not error alert. Sometimes, let's say email, right? You want to get an email with the error record, so then you can proactively fix those records. So this is the scenario that I'm going to explain today, how we gracefully handle error records when in the during a data flow in the Apache NiFi. Okay, let's start. So I have already written a data flow. I will probably explain these steps, because if I'm going to start from the scratch, it will take a lot of time. Probably you should be able to get the idea. Okay, let's start. So this is where I'm going to start my data flow. I'm going to fetch some user records from the database. So this is execute SQL update record processor I have used here, right? So important attributes I will show you. For example, this is the SQL that I am fetching some set of records from the database. So you don't need to worry about much of these fields, but just customer ID, first name, last name, kind of a merchant ID, some kind of a basic information. So I want to highlight one field here, this customer verified date, right? So this customer verified date can be null, it's optional field, others are more like a mandatory field. I want to specifically highlight this customer verified date, right? So this is a basic simple query which fetch some list of users from the customer table. Okay, customer records. Now for this is my general practice, so I'm setting some kind of attributes. For example, in this I have set up this update attribute processor. I have set up as a practice what is the data flow name, all registered users, and I started attribute as status, right? You can see that status by default I have set it to success. Please keep that in mind. So then as usual, route to attribute, basically in this flow I'm checking whether records is there any available records in the query returns the set of data, right? Is empty, is non-empty, nothing but simple. If it is empty, just I'm sending to like put it into a log, and if it is not empty, I'm going to process it. So next you should know, you know that split JSON, actually this JSON file will be splitted into individual records, and from this point beyond all the records will be passed through data flow one by one. So extract attribute processor, this I'm not going to explain this syntax because my main purpose is to how to handle error records, right? So I'm extracting some of the fields, around 10-12 fields, customer name, customer ID, the customer verified date, right? Keep it. This is also I'm extracting from this JSON data payload. Now Then here, right, so this is let me, yeah, verified date. Okay, customer verified date. I want to, let me rename, this is not join date. Let me stop this and is verified date is very is verified date now. Okay, now as I mentioned earlier, this customer verified date can be null or empty, right? So then here this howTone attribute, I have placed howTone attribute processor here, and then I check whether customer verified uh, field, customer verified date field is null or is empty or not. If it is empty, so I treat that particular record as an error record and I push to this direction. And if it is not null, so I have simply put into this attribute JSON processor, but whatever the operation that you want to do beyond this point for the success records, you can perform it, right? You can, maybe you can insert into database and blah, and you can send whatever operation you are expecting to do with success records, you can do that. And then the idea is success records goes through this flow, error records goes to this side. So ultimately you can see that here these error records, even the next tag attribute also, I can start this, error records are diverted to this direction, and here I set error records as status is updated as an error, right? Then all the error records will come through this set error status processor or the success records, so whatever you can process, and you can then get that to attribute JSON, right? So what I am using attribute JSON here because I have extracted this all the attributes here, around 10-12 attributes, because I know that all the attributes anyway, whatever processor you are using in the middle of the data flow, at the end these attributes are available. That's why I'm using attribute to JSON, and error records will come through this path and success one will come through this path. Then what I am going to do here, I am using merge record processor somewhere in the middle. Merge record, yeah, JSON, I'm using merge defragment and basic attributes. I'm not going to explain this merge record processor there. So error records will come to this side, success record will come to this side, merge record processor will merge again those data into a single document. Then here I'm using query record processor, where error and success I have written to queries. For the error, I'm querying error records separately. Select step from flow file where status equal error, and success records separately, where you can select a step from flow file where status is success. So success and error records are queried separately. Then there are two relations, then I am passing, then success records go to this side and the error record go to this side. Then beyond that you can do whatever you want, right? So I'm going to stop there. For example, this actually nothing but this is an sending a successful email notification, and when it comes to error part, we set some file name, and file name is attached, and send an email, right? File name is attached, is the email is sent along with the error record. So this is the idea. Okay, now I will run this data flow. Let me run this data flow. Okay, I'm going to start this and refresh. Okay, I'm going to stop this because I have set this to run in every 10 seconds. So okay, now this data went through this data flow to some level. Let me see. Okay, here, see, all the records are successfully have come to this place. There are 908 records, right? Now if you see this data, there are some records. Now uh, verify, as I mentioned you earlier, customer verified date is optional, it can be none. So here, let's say I'm going to stop this here, I'm going to stop this here, and I'm going to again start this here you go, see, 247 records verified date is null and 661 records are successful. So these records, before attribute JSON, you can do any processing. You can insert into the database, or you can generate, send as email, whatever the operation you want to perform, you can do this with this 661 records. But you need to have, there are 247 records, error records. But you want to get this, what are the, while running this data flow, you want to get failure records in a separately, maybe as an attachment to the email. Okay, now if you check one of these data, you can see that, you see, let's go to see format, see the, okay, now this doesn't have status, but if you see attributes, right, if you see attributes, if you see the attributes, you can see status, see, as a success. So what I'm going to do is, in the attribute to JSON, inside the attribute to JSON process, I have added all the fields and along with the status at the end, see, at the end I have status. Now, so I'm going to start this also, and I'm going to stop merge processor, and I'm going to start this, refresh. Okay, now 661 records came here. You know that my merge record is stopped. I'm going to show you some sample data here. If you go to this one, now this JSON, you have status success. All the success records are coming from this direction, and that's right. Then there are 247 records. I'm going to start this. Okay, now it will, okay, it went through this set error status processor and attribute JSON. Now if you see this data list queue, I will show you one record. These are error records. See, the status is set to error. So now you can see that all the success records are coming from this direction, error records are coming from this direction, and now I'm going to merge these into one. Okay, now you can see that these two data sets merge into one, and again query, and all the success records will has come to this line, and all the failure records has come to this path, right? So then from this point you can, if you look at this data, you can see that it is a, all the error, only the error records has come to that direction. So now you can actually send this as an email using put email processor, in the success record, even you can do whatever. Let's say you want to send some notification, right? So anyway, this merge record processor is not like mandatory thing, right? Because if you like, merge record process is not mandatory. You can do this without merge record process. You can remove this and you can directly get this success record into this here, and you can get this to success records into this direction. Error record merge process is not a mandatory thing. So this is basically how you gracefully handle error records and you get the proactive notification through Apache NiFi. So I hope this anything did I miss? I'm thinking no, this is the basic idea to handle error records gracefully and get some kind of a proactive notifications to our email or whatever notification channel. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial, and thank you. We'll see you again.